Oh my days. Ladies and gentlemen, we just witnessed an incredible match today. Liverpool defeat Newcastle 3-2 at St. James Park, gaining a massive 3 points from a late winner goal from a 16-year-old. A 16-year-old, Rio Nguma. I think that's how you say his name. I don't know. I'm gonna call him Rio for the rest of the video because I don't wanna be messing up his last name. But Rio, 16-year-old player from the academy who we saw in preseason, and he scored a goal as well, and we saw oh, maybe this kid has a bright future. And today he came on 5 minutes left into the match in a Premier League match against Newcastle at St. James Park, where the fans were going crazy from minute 1 to minute 90. He witnessed it throughout the whole game, and he still had the balls, the huevos, to come into the match and just seal it off for Liverpool to get a massive 3 points that they did not deserve. They did not deserve. Let's get it straight right now. They did not deserve to win that match. They did not deserve to walk away with those 3 points. But hey, this is how champions play. This is how champions do. They get the 3 points even when they don't deserve it. They get the win even when they don't deserve it. And today we witnessed it. Today we witnessed why this game is called the beautiful game. Why it is the best sport in the world, and at the same time we witnessed how unfair this game could be, because Liverpool did not deserve it and Newcastle deserved a lot more from this game. But let's quickly talk about what we witnessed in this game. In the first half, Newcastle, oh my god, obliterated, dominated, were destroying Liverpool, just all over them, knocking on the door to get that first goal, to get the opening goal of the match. Because, oh my god, the complete domination from the defense to the midfield to the attack that Newcastle were having over Liverpool is just insane. It's just insane when you're looking at the team on paper. Because on paper, Liverpool, the main changes they had were Szoboszlai was playing as a right back, which I'll give him props. He did a great job playing as a right back. And it really tells you that Arne Slot has a lot of trust for this guy, because he does not want to bench him. He does not want to put him on the bench. He has a lot of trust for this guy. He clearly likes Szoboszlai, that he even wants to play him as a right back. He had Connor Bradley on the bench. Probably didn't want to play him because he's probably not fully fit yet. But he also had Joe Gomez. And Joe Gomez, if I'm not mistaken, has played as a right back before in the past. And he still wanted to play Szoboszlai there. But, I mean, Arne Slot see what he sees from his players, every single day in training. So I guess, he made the right choice, because Szoboszlai actually did pretty decent playing as a right back. And obviously Jones came into the midfield as well, because McAllister had a little knock. But besides that, the rest of the team is the strongest team that Liverpool pretty much play with. And Newcastle, again, the strongest team that they could probably put up right now with the players that they have. But again, it's just the domination that Newcastle had from minute 1 to minute, I say, till grabbing. No, not even. No. I'm not till anything. It's just the first half in general. It's the first half in general where Newcastle were just all over them. And one key point I can really take away from Newcastle in this first half was they were 100% missing a player like Alexander Isak. He was the main missing part for this team to have scored 2 or 3 in that first half, because the opportunities that Gordon got in that first half, props to Gordon. I'm not knocking down what he did. I think he had a great game. It's always dumbass got that red card. But with how the movements that he had, the spaces that he got into, I think if Alexander Isak was in those positions, he would have done way better, and he definitely would have taken those chances that that Gordon had in that match. Gordon, I think the clearest shot that he had, the clearest opportunity they had was a little header that he just hits it over the bar. But besides that, a lot of areas where Gordon was, got into the right spaces, prompts to what he did, but he's just not that striker, that goal scorer that Alexander Isak was. But if Isak was in this game, I think it would have been a completely different story. But we all understand the situation today, as of today, with Alexander Isak and Newcastle. They don't fuck with each other at this point. Isak's been wanting to leave, and Newcastle, I don't know what they're waiting for at this point. I'd say just take the money and reinvest, because another person that is just unfair for is Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe, since joining Newcastle, has done an incredible job getting them into Europe, getting into top 4, competing against the best sides, but the lack of investment. This squad clearly needs investments, because they have a great team, but it's an aging team, and they definitely need a little bit more quality. And I would say definitely up top. Like, that's the main thing up top, because Harvey Barnes went up against a Szoboszlai as a right back, and he did nothing. Harvey Barnes had a bad match today. Elanga was very explosive. He handled Kirkes a lot of times, and props to him. He did a great job putting some dangerous balls into the box. And again, it was just Gordon. He's just not the prolific striker like Alexander Isak is. But that is the main point. The main point that I would take for sure. That if they had someone like Isak, Newcastle would have destroyed Liverpool. But the domination on the midfield as well. Florian Wirtz. That's another key point we got to talk about. Disastrous performance from Florian Wirtz today. He felt what the Premier League is. Because we can definitely say that Newcastle are the essence of the Premier League. What it means to play in the Premier League. A physical team that are just always running at you, always bullying you off the ball. If you don't fight, if you don't have that physicality, if you don't know how to go up against these players, you're going to get destroyed. You're going to get bullied. You're going to not exist at all in this match. And that's exactly what happened with Florian Wirtz, because Tonali, Guimaraes, and Joe Linton, what an incredible game from all of them. Unfortunately, Joe Linton and Tonali came off with an injury. I think if they played, it would have been a lot better for Newcastle. But wow, completely dominated that midfield. Gravenberch, Florian Wirtz, and Jones did not exist. They did not exist. And the defense from Newcastle in that first half, I would even say the whole game was honestly spot on as well. Except for those 2 goals that they conceded, they were spot on. Like, Salah disappeared throughout this match. Ekitike, besides the goal, he didn't really do much. He was getting bullied as well from Shaw and Byrne in the midfield as well whenever he would drop deep. And Gakpo, credit to him, like that first assist. Okay, it was a banger from Gravenberch, and great assist to Ekitike as well. But besides that, didn't really do much, and that's just credit to Newcastle and how well they were defending. But yeah, just dominating until the 35th minute around there. Gravenberch out of nowhere just catches Newcastle off guard and bangs it in bottom left corner, and then wow. Shocking. It was genuinely shocking, but hey, this is football. Football is unfair. Football is very unfair. Newcastle were knocking. Liverpool were non-existent, and then out of nowhere, boom. Like that, the game changes. Not really, actually. It didn't change at all. The only thing that changed was the scoreline. But besides that, Newcastle were still dominating. Newcastle was still all over Liverpool, and Liverpool didn't respond at all. They couldn't find the response. Konate, Kirkes, just terrible matches from them. Van Dijk was solid. Again, Szoboszlai was solid, but question marks. Definitely a lot of question marks as to how Liverpool defends, and when they go up against these physical teams, how they struggle a bit. How they definitely struggle a bit. And again, we're going to see how they do against Arsenal, because Arsenal, we know they're going to give them a tougher match, but we'll see. But then, obviously, since I didn't watch the game live, and I saw on my foot mob that Gordon got a red card, I was just thinking, what did this idiot do to get a red card? To kill the momentum that Newcastle have. To kill his momentum, his great game that he was having. What did he do? And oh my goodness, that was the dumbest thing he could have done. Really, why? Why did you have to do that? Because that definitely affected Newcastle. Because, oh man. You're just making it way more difficult, obviously, going 10 men down. And it's so dumb. It's such a stupid red card to get. It was unnecessary, and it was a deserved red card because it was a dangerous tackle. Studs up, hits Van Dijk in his calf, and we all saw the scratch marks. It was clearly a dangerous tackle and a deserved red card. He gets out the game. I'm like, bro, you killed your own great game that you were having, and you killed your team. You killed the momentum. I mean, you could say that for sure, but at the same time, Newcastle, how resistant they were. Even into the second half, where second half begins and Liverpool out of nowhere just get another goal, like a minute in, Newcastle score, Ekitike with a great goal, a great finish, and you're just like, okay, it's done, it's over. Yeah, Newcastle are not coming back from this. I'm sorry, you dominated the first half, you didn't take your chances. It's literally like FIFA. It's literally like playing FIFA. Like, I played that game for so many years now, and it's literally the same shit you feel when you're playing FIFA, where you're dominating the opponent, you're all over them, you're destroying them, but you keep fluffing your shots, you keep missing your chances, and then the other player just Trevellas green shots you 3 different times, and then they end up beating you 5-0. Like this is how it felt. That's how it felt for Newcastle because it's so unfair, bro. It's just so unfair, but the game is unfair. If you don't take your chances, the other team will, and Newcastle and Liverpool clearly did. What a great goal to get that second goal, 2-0 up, and you're thinking at that point, okay, Liverpool are going to fire. They're going to keep firing. They're going to score more goals. It's going to end up 4 or 5, maybe. Who knows? Maybe the morale of Newcastle's down on the ground and they're not coming back from this. But no. Newcastle were completely still on it. That's why I'm saying an embarrassing performance from Liverpool, where in that second half, 10 men down Newcastle, and they still couldn't do anything. They still, in the final third and the attacking in Newcastle's box, they couldn't do shit. And you're just like, what? Mohamed Salah, Florian Wirtz, Ekitike, Gakpo, great names that we're talking about here, and they couldn't do it. I'm just like, wow, embarrassing. Newcastle were just going in, fighting until they got their first goal to get them back into the game. A cross from Livramento, and then Bruno Guimaraes bullies Skirkies and just gets that header. Boom, the whole stadium is going crazy. Game on. And you just know when those Newcastle fans, like those fans are they're amazing. They're amazing. And they just give energy to the team. They give energy to the team. It feeds the players. They feed off it and they start pressing, attacking, and going at it even further. And then boom, it gets late into the match, the 88th minute. All right, it's going to end. And then boom, again, Newcastle get the second goal from Asula, however you say his name. And then boom, you're thinking, what the hell? Liverpool, how have you fluffed this? How have you messed this up? Konate, I don't know what you're doing. Unfortunately for Gravenberch, not even unfortunate, he just didn't see Asula playing, coming from behind him, and then he just passes it under Alisson's legs and gets that second goal to tie up the game. The crowd goes crazy, everyone's crazy, and it's like, all right, cool, you did it, fair enough, Newcastle, you did it, 10 men down, fair enough, but it's definitely deserved as well because they were on it, even after the second goal, they were still on it. Like Liverpool today, I don't know what happened. They were just shut off from the whole game, attacking, defensive, midfield. They were just shut off. Newcastle attacking, trying to get the third. They were trying to get the winner. Liverpool weren't, Newcastle were. And then one beautiful play from Liverpool, and they get the winner from Rio. From a 16. What were you guys doing at 16 years old? Like literally when he saw that and when he made that and I saw the goal, I'm like, what the hell was I doing at 16 years old? I was jerking off. I was playing Fortnite. And this kid is scoring a goal in the Premier League against Newcastle at St. James Park to win the game. Made me regret life a little bit, but still, oh my God, what a game. What a goal as well. Like Mohamed Salah puts a dangerous ball into the box. Soboslai, IQ, that's called genius right there. Genius. Not only genius to let the ball go through his legs and leave it for Rio to just bang it in, but it's also confidence. It's also confidence from the heart and understanding that Rio had it in him to win the game for Liverpool. Having that trust in a 16-year-old to make that last-minute finish to win them the game. Bangs it in, curls it in, and Liverpool win the game. The crowd goes crazy. You can see the happiness from Rio and the fans and Liverpool, obviously the team, and they get the win. They get the win. Wow. Genuinely, what a beautiful game. The beautiful sport. It is called the beautiful sport for a reason. The beautiful game for a reason. What a beautiful game that we witnessed today. Again, unlucky, very unlucky for Newcastle and Liverpool. They got away with it. Let's be honest. They got away with it. They didn't deserve it, but they got away with it. Again, this is what champions do. They're going to suffer this game. I'm a Barcelona fan. We definitely suffered like this throughout last season as well, but that's just how it is. That's just how it is. Having that DNA to keep fighting, to keep coming back and try to fight for more. That's what champions do, and that's what Liverpool did today, even if they didn't deserve it. Even if they had to depend on a 16-year-old. But I'm a Barcelona fan. We've been depending on a 16-year-old for a little while now, so I'm not going to knock them down for that. I'm not going to knock them down for that at all. But, again, question marks. A lot of question marks as to Liverpool and the way they defend. Liverpool and the way they play against a team that's very physical. that play as a unit, that know how to defend their attacks, that know how to shut down players like Mohamed Salah and Ekitike and Gakpo, these tall physical players and, these talented players that we expect to always turn up, a lot of question marks because they go up against Arsenal on Sunday next week, and we all know that Arsenal are a physical side. They know how to defend, one of the best defensive teams in all of Europe, and their attack force isn't bad either. Obviously, they're going to miss the likes of Saka, and I think Odegaard's going to probably be out too. But, they reinforced, made some transfers in the market for a reason, so I don't think that should be a total problem. Obviously, Saka is definitely a huge miss, but still, a lot of question marks as to how Liverpool are going to go up against, Arsenal, because Arsenal can definitely give them a game, and I think they will. And the way that Liverpool played today, how concerning it is, especially in the defense, it gives me a lot of question marks as how if they can win this game. They're playing at Anfield, they have home court advantage, but I don't know. A lot of question marks for sure. And definitely for the signings that they made, like Florian Wirtz, you spend a lot of money for that guy to put up a stinker like that. Imagine it going up against Declan Rice, Zubimendi, whoever they play in the 10. Yeah, a lot of question marks for sure. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below what you guys thought about the video. Let me know down in the comments what you were doing as 16-year-old. Were you scoring a Premier League goal at St. James Park to win your team a game? Yeah, I don't think so. But let me know what you were doing at 16 years old. Make sure to like, subscribe, favorite, hit the notification bell for every time we upload a video. Your friends love football. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Whenever that is, much love. Take care and peace.